When you got nothing better to do, it's time to get hanging with the hers.
Okay, so today is first day of Ramadan, and I'm cooking. It's early, still early. It's before 9 o'clock, and I wanted to get things cooked before the heat started. Anyway, so here is in here is a vegan lamb that I've made, also from Seitan. Okay, so then over here, I have actually in the pot right now a little bit of oil and some minced garlic of 3 cloves of garlic. The oil is maybe about a tablespoon, okay? You can use vegetable oil or you can use olive oil. So I've got here minced garlic and chopped very fine diced onion. You can see it's very fine. I've diced it. Okay, so I'm going to let that saute down a little bit. Over here I have some baby carrots that I've sliced, and then underneath there is you see some green bell pepper that I've diced. You can see here how I've diced it. Okay, so just dice like that. Okay, so and then here is some red lentil which I have rinsed and is now drained. Is draining over here. So then also I have some Vegeta. Is here. Some Vegeta vegetable bouillon, and here is some cumin. Okay, some ground cumin. So basically this is 2 cups of red lentils and 3 cloves of garlic. This is actually just a quarter of a small onion, which I've diced very finely. And then there's some baby carrots and half of a large green bell pepper. Now, of course, you can increase it for how many people you're going to be serving. So what I'm going to do is once this is fried down a little bit, because the onions are glassy, then I'm going to add the vegetables and cook them until they're cooked. And if they make brown on the pot, no problem, because then I'll just deglaze them and with a little bit of water. So basically you're going to also add between about 4 to 6 cups of water to this when you're done. There's going to be 1 to 2 tablespoons of the cumin and about half a tablespoon to 1, depending on your taste. You do it by taste, okay, of the Vegeta bouillon, okay? And then you're going to cook it for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. But okay, so once this is all nice cooked and ready to add the veggies, I'll show you how that's going to look. Okay, so you can see that it's that the onions and the garlic is cooking very nicely. I've spread it out, so now it's going to I don't want it to brown as such, okay? So I'm seeing some of the garlic is already browning. Now remember, garlic browns very, very fast, faster than the onion browns, okay? So the onion is pretty glassy right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add my carrots and peppers. Okay. Alright, I want to give that a good stir to get all the... Whoops! Trying to do this one-handed and hold the... Okay, so basically you want to stir it in, okay? Now you're going to let this cook down, okay? So that's going to cook down nicely, and then... And I have an Esme biting at my feet. She's loving and biting at my feet. Alright, now she's licking. It's funny. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit here for a few minutes until it starts to cook nicely. Cook down, and then I'm going to add the spices, and then the lentils, and then the water. Okay, so now the vegetables are pretty well nicely cooked. In fact, some of it's going a little bit brown. So what I'm going to now do, if you see some of it is browning in some of the areas here. See, you can see it's getting a bit singed. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add the spices. Okay, so this is about 1.5 tablespoons of cumin powder right here. So I'm just going to put that in. Don't go in. Oh, the smell of the cumin as soon as it starts to hit the heat. It's beautiful. Okay. Now I know this looks like there's a lot of flavoring going in, and maybe it's going to be salty, but it's not. It actually gets, but I'm going to do half of that. So this is about 1 tablespoon here, okay? So it actually, it doesn't, it's not so salty that it's because I don't like it so salty myself. Okay, so now here you see I'm stirring it all in. Oh boy, oh the smell is so good. Okay, so now I'm going to add my lentils here, and I'm going to mix that in a little bit. So it gets the flavors into it. Now, normally I use a big pot for Ramadan cooking, but this year I'm using a smaller one. Okay, so now it's nicely. So now I'm going to mix in some water. So I'm going to start with one cup. And this way I'm going to deglaze anything that was in the bottom that may have got stuck. I'm using a no-stick pot, so it's not much that's going to be sticking. So, but that's also, if you have a pot, that's where a lot of your flavor is also going to be. I can't. So I did 6 cups of water in total. So now I'm just gonna let this sit until it comes to a boil. Then I'm going to half cover it and let it simmer till it's done. But that's pretty much it. And then enjoy. Okay, it's been cooking for about maybe 10 minutes now, and you can see it's come to a boil here, and got what's usually it's called scum, but because it's vegetables, I'm just going to leave it in here, so it's nothing's bad or anything like that. So you can see it's the lentils are cooking very nicely. Everything's cooking together lovely. The lentils are almost actually cooked, to be honest with you. So okay, and you can see how they've expanded. So even though I use 6 cups of water, you could just sort of see it where they're at the surface there, at the surface of them. Okay, so because it's boiling like this now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lid, I'm going to partially cover it. So I leave it open a crack, and that's going to give it ability to the steam can come out, so it's not going to overboil. And also I'm going to move this down to medium. Okay, so I'm going to move that to medium, and then let that boil for another 15-20 minutes. And I'll be checking on it from time to time as well to make sure that it's doing well. And once it's cooked, then I'll turn it off and let it sit until this evening iftar dinner. Okay, so it's been about, I guess maybe about 25-30 minutes since I made it, started making it, and you can see how it's the lentil has almost like broken down, and how thick and everything it's become. So now this is ready. You can add more water if you wanted to make it more like brothy like. For me, I think this is nice like this. Some people even at this point, like they'll make it cool, like they'll let it cool down, and then they'll put it into the the blender to make it like more thick. But I think this is nice just like this. Flavor's good, perfect, actually. So yeah, so that's the lentil soup, that Ramadan lentil soup, and that's about it. That's sort of what we're going to eat almost every night for Iftar, to break the fast. And just, you can do different things. This is kind of like a basic, so you can like remove the bell peppers. You can add red peppers. You can remove the carrots. Last year I also did one with spinach, and it was baked spinach, and it was delicious. So yeah, it's up to you how you want to do it. But that's my lentil soup, and I hope you'll make it. And please do leave your comments and thoughts below, and please do like our video and subscribe to our page, and please share our video if you liked it a lot. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Okay, so now I'm making some cookies. These are an inspiration from my good friend Brandy. So shout out to Brandy. Woohoo, Brandy! She made these delicious cookies and popped them on her Facebook the other day. I don't know if they were delicious or not. They look delicious, let's say that. But they look good enough that I asked her how she did them, and she basically just threw the recipe together. So that's what I'm doing. And as you know, we are the, what do we say? Well, I don't know what's the word we would call us, but how we're constantly improvising when we're doing recipes. So I didn't have. Okay, so basically, let me tell you first what I did. I've got 2 cups of all-purpose plain flour. I should hide that so I don't give them product review anyway. But no, a product placement, I should say. But okay, 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 2 cups of powdered confections sugar. And I'm going to do, this is like 1 teaspoon. I didn't have cumin powder. I had cumin seeds, and so I've tried to grate them or grind them in my food processor, but they're not so, it's not 100% ground yet. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put it through the sieve, the fine sieve, and get out all the hard bits, and then we'll have the powder. So let me go and do that, and then I'll show you. Oh, and also, I don't even know how much I'm going to put in of that yet, but I'm thinking like a teaspoon. And then some rose water, probably about maybe 2 teaspoons of that. So we'll see. And then I'm going to have butter as well. But let me figure it out first. Get that figured out first. Okay, so here is the cumin now. I've put in there, and this is the part that stayed behind. These are the hard bits after I put it through the sieve. So that's the hard bits that didn't get ground up nicely in my food processor. So here's that in there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and stir that so it gets all nicely incorporated. Okay, so here are the cookies. Just before I'm going to put the new wave on. So I ended up doing 2 cups of flour, plain flour, 2 cups of confection powdered sugar, half a cup of butter, 2 teaspoons of rose water, and 1 teaspoon of cardamom powder, and then 2 tablespoons of almond milk to help bring it together. Now it is a very sticky dough. I will tell you that it's but you can form these nice cookies. And then I've just put pecans on the tops here just for some decoration. So I'm going to cook this batch now here. I'm going to try it at 8 minutes first and see how it is. If not, I'll add on a couple of minutes to make 10 minutes. here are the end cookies once they've been cooked. I end up cooking them for 15 minutes a batch. Okay, so here are the finished cookies. They're now on the rack, cooling down. They made about, this batch made 22 cookies, but if you make, I mean, they weren't 100 all uniform, but if you made them smaller like that, you could probably get more. But as you can see, like, some of them were bigger, and the first ones were a little bit rough. So yeah, if you make them smaller, then you'll get more out from them, from the batch. But yeah, this made 22. What I've got here is 22, and I end up cooking them for 15 minutes each batch, until they became lovely golden brown. And now they're just cooling, and then we'll enjoy them later on. So, and that basically is our iftar meal. We've got this for dessert. We've got the soup here, which is now cooled down, and I'll just heat that up later on, so we'll have a little bowl of soup. And then I've got my lamb roast over here, which I haven't opened yet and I haven't showed you, so I know I haven't seen it either. So I'll show that to you a bit later, but like when we're coming close to dinner time. But that is our meal, and then I'll make, I don't know, tonight I think I'm just going to do like chips and lamb and some veg on the side, just to make it easy. But yeah, so that is a Ramadan, first day of Ramadan iftar dinner right there. And okay, and for the lamb, I'm actually going to put the recipe on the bottom here. So just like go down and have a look in the about section, or whatever it is, that section down there, the description, and I'll have the lamb recipe down there. All right, well, hope you've enjoyed this, and a little bit of adventure in my cooking and my kitchen. Okay, here is my lamb uncovered, the Seitan lamb. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slice it, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. But yeah, it looks pretty good on the whole. So that's been covered the whole day since this morning, since I cooked it. This is the first time I'm unwrapping it and seeing it for myself as well. So are you able to come and hold this for me while I slice? I'm also here cooking vermicelli, which is going to be part of my rice. So letting that get nice and toasty brown. Okay, so. So this is how it looks on the inside once it's been sliced. So turn it around and you can see there. It's a bit more holy than what I'm used to it to be, or it has been. So probably because I didn't make it tight when I folded it, I left it to rise a bit. So so that's what happens, that the air gets in and expands. But it's going to taste good. It's going to taste just like regular Seitan lamb that I make. So that's it.
Yum.
Yum.
Now don't you forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it all with your friends. Till next time, hanging with the herds.